We've seen initiatives like this before. Can they make a difference?
Well, yes, they can. I think you highlighted how when you first introduced it, by stemming the tide, because the enforcement element, which is exactly what this is, can only get us so far, unfortunately, in relation to knife crime, which is a pretty complicated subject, actually, when you start to actually research it and delve it. But I take your point on what the statistics you've quoted in relation to London, but also viewers in the Liverpool area will know that over the weekend, on Saturday morning, unfortunately, a 14-year-old boy appeared at Liverpool magistrates, having been charged with a murder of a 23-year-old man in a knife attack which happened a few days ago, and two 15-year-olds remain on bail. So it's not just London, Bill, which is seeing this sort of prevalence with knives. It's across the country. But measures have been put in place, but I suspect they have been curtailed somewhat because of the what's happened over the last 12 months in relation to lockdown in particular.
Sure. So having said that, we obviously saw knife violence plummet during lockdown. So opening up could perhaps see it surge again?
Well, we're obviously seeing more people on the street, so we've got to be prepared for that. And the other issue, obviously, is, of course, because the police force, the police services, resources have been engaged on other things, as you know, in relation to COVID regulations, and you've spoken to me many times about that, how we go about that. And that has been a major issue for police forces across the country in how they actually go about tackling getting that balance right of COVID. And, of course, that diverts resources away from key issues such as knife crime, which is in fact actually being approached in a multi-agency manner at the moment. There has been since that they was.
But Peter, from your experience as a police officer, amnesties, do they work? And also metal detectors, sniffer dogs. What sort of support do these initiatives get from the public?
Well, amnesties are limited to some extent, but there are some successes. I mean, one knife taken off the street is a success, and you do get that sort of thing happening where people will do that. You know, they're normally cited in police stations, in plastic bins, those sorts of things. Yes, they do, but the support you're talking about, Bill, what the police service need for enforcement of knife crime is intelligence, and that comes from the community, and that's the support which they need in order to address and stem this tide which you're referring to.